Australian music fan in Minnesota for sure.
That's amazing. If not the world.
Yeah.
That's great.
But anyway, yeah, I'm here with Stella Donnelly. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for letting me have a chat to you, Andrew.
Yes, it's an absolute pleasure. So the project we're launching is all about music, like bringing conversations about music back into this kind of sphere here for people who live for it and love it. And so I like to get artists talking about the music that makes them who they are and that makes them fall in love with music. So is there any album artist that you listened to or songs you heard that where you thought, okay, I have to do this for life?
Well, early days, there's a Welsh band called Catatonia who were really influential for me.
All over the front page.
Road Rage. Yeah, exactly.
I love
Karis Matthews, she managed just to get really her aggression out, but also in such a sweet way. So I think I was accidentally influenced by her and love her so much. And and Billy Bragg, his work as Playtime album was really special. And then he always managed to find a suburban way of talking about the heavier things in life, which I loved. He had a lyric that went no amount of poetry can mend this broken heart, but you can take the Hoover out if you want to make a start. And I love that line. That lyric's just it encompasses what real love is, and I love that. So those two back in the day. But even more recently, my woman, Angel Olsen and Aldous Harding, Party, that's an even more recent one. It's very special. She's from New Zealand and she's amazing. And there's just so many artists out there. I can't even think on the top of my head. But there's just it's just crazy. Kate Le Bon from Wales is a big one for me.
Yes.
Yeah, she's amazing. And Australia, there's just so many artists that I constantly listen to.
It's really awesome to have you here, especially because it just so happens that my two favorite music countries in the world are Australia and Wales.
That's amazing, and I'm a little combo of both.
A combo of both.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about how that combo happened?
Well, my mum is Welsh and my dad's Australian, and that's kind of that's how it happened. Yeah, I lived in Wales for a portion of my childhood, and then moved back to Australia, and so I've got very strong ties in both countries and beautiful families on either side and big music influences, which is great. I think it's been really lucky to have my dad really got into the Welsh music even though he's Australian, so he would be constantly playing Stereophonics and Catatonia and stuff like that, and then mum got into the Australian music and was loving Paul Kelly and Midnight Oil and stuff, so they really loved music, both of them, and supported each other's kind of tastes.
Every band you've dropped is just lighting up my world.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
favorites. Me too. So much nostalgia.
I know. I have to ask, are you a Manic Street Preachers fan at all? They're the band that my parents, I never got given that. Really?
And I need to actually get in there and have a good listen to Manic Street Preachers.
This is the moment that I wish I had a bunch of records to have.
Yeah, and for me to just, I know.
Manic Street Preachers are, other than Smashing Pumpkins, my favorite artists of all time.
All time. All right, I'm going to have a listen.
And it's very lonely being an American Manics fan.
Oh, I bet.
They are absolutely killer.
Okay, I'll have a listen.
So, when did you first start getting into music, writing music?
Probably when I was 16. I played music since I was 8 or 9. Played piano, played guitar, taught myself guitar. I had little piano lessons when I was 5, and I just kept doing that for 10 years, I think. But and then I just I wrote a really bad song about my grandma's house, which was it's sweet at the time for a little girl to write, but now that I think about it, I think I rhymed place with place, which is just as bad as Pitbull rhyming Kodak with Kodak. So, but look, and then I just started writing little songs, and then it just continued from there. So started playing gigs when I was 17, but I was playing covers and stuff like that. So worked my way for that last 8 years into where I am now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What covers would be on your circulation?
Back in the day, Green Day, Oasis, Pink, just the most generic covers, Dear Mr. President by Pink, and just generic kind of not that Pink's generic, but the covers, I just do like all the Missy Higgins songs and like, oh my god, I'm embarrassed to even talk about it. I did so many random covers, like Free Falling.
Oh.
So crazy.
Those are all the stuff that you play when you're hanging around in your room on guitar.
I know.
I do the exact same thing.
Totally.
So do you speak Welsh?
Tipper Bach. I talk a little bit of Welsh, yeah. I probably talk better Welsh than I talk English. I just said talk English. But yeah, I grew up speaking Welsh, and then I lost it. But I think it's like it's coming back, and as soon as I'm surrounded by Welsh people, it comes back, and like it just takes a little time for it to kind of fully re-enter my brain and my soul.
It's my dream language to learn.
It's pretty cool, yeah. It's not exactly one of the romantic languages. You wouldn't want me to whisper sweet Welsh nothings in your ear.
You say that, but I disagree. If you listen to the Bridge to Patio song by Gorky Zagati,
yeah.
like that, I
pretty special.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful language, and there's so much poetry in it because it's so ancient, and there's so much art drenched in the language, which is really cool.
You look at a song like Yarma Ohid, and it's like
yeah.
I mean, there's so much. It's like a myth turned into a like sing-along belter.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this amazing Indigenous artist from Australia. She's a Noongar woman. Her name's Gina Williams, and she sings in language over there. But the reason she started writing songs in language was because she went to Wales and went and did an Eisteddfod over there, and met with these amazing Welsh people this was back like maybe in the 90s when the Welsh language was dying, and these guys were talking to her. They were like, oh, our language is dying, and we're trying to keep our Indigenous language alive and work out how we do it. And that was her inspiration to come home and write in Noongar language, because Aboriginal language is something that's dying over in Australia because white people aren't doing anything to help like the situation or maintain any of the culture over there. So, and the same thing kind of happened in Wales, where that English was just kind of taking over. And I think there's a really strong tie there with language and Indigenous language, and there are unexplainable things when you hear that stuff. Like when I hear Gina Williams sing in Noongar language, you get this thing, you feel this thing, and you can't explain it, and it's not explainable. And the same things in Welsh. So yeah.
I know what I'm listening to when I get home.
Yeah, listen to Gina Williams or Gurumul, like Jeffrey Gurumul. Yeah. He doesn't sing in Noongar. He sings in a different language. I can't exactly remember where he's from, but he passed away last year, unfortunately.
I know.
But he's
so young too.
Yeah, so young. So yeah, he's definitely a language singer, and there's an amazing band out right now called Karadala Kiradara.
Oh yeah, I really like the Rain song. Right?
Yes, Karadala Kiradara. Yeah, and they're amazing, and they've got the Rain song and Woman song, and they're really special. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Stuff. Well, one last question.
Yep.
So the EP Thrush Metal, it's taken off. Boys Will Be Boys is one of the most important songs of the decade.
Yeah.
How do you feel knowing that people? Oh, you're very welcome. How do you know feeling that people are listening to your music and are going to feel the same way that you felt about Kate LeBon and Catatonia, and are going to become? We're gonna have so many amazing artists in the future who will be sitting down in interviews asked, how did you get into music, and they'll say Stella Donnelly.
It's so hard for me to imagine that happening, because I'm still just I feel like such a little young kid looking up at all these amazing artists. So look, if that happens, that's beautiful, and I just want to tell stories, and that song in particular, I just wanted people to understand what it's like to be a woman when something happens to you. They call it this is a bit of a heavy topic to be talking about, but they call it the second rape. If you are raped, and then when you open up about it, society rapes you in a way that makes you explain every little detail. It questions you, it doubts you.
Relive everything.
Everything, and then sometimes they still don't believe you after that. So I just think as I just want people to understand what that can be like for women.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it is a very heavy topic, but it's so important that we talk about
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Because
It's not nice to talk about, but
like,
it has
it
to
has
be.
to be talked
yeah,
about.
totally.
And I just want to thank you for talking about
Oh,
it.
thank you.
because-
Thank you for listening. I really
course.
appreciate it. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, Stella Donnelly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much for talking to me, Andrew, and
course.
thanks for listening to my songs out there.
Yeah. And for all of you who don't know, Stella Donnelly, the EP thrash metal, you can get it anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Yes. Thank you.
Fantastic. And have a great
Awesome.